What is going on, guys, and welcome to the SketchUp Essentials 101. So let's jump into it. In the center here, what we've got in our user interface is our modeling area. You will notice here that we've got our blue, green, and red axis. This is our X, Y, and Z axes, and it's what enables us to model up in 3D. Alright, so essentially when you're kind of modeling up, you'll start with a 2D shape and then you will convert it by the push-pull tool or through some other means into a 3D shape. Alright, if we move over to our top left hand corner, we've got up here File, Edit, View, Camera, Tools, Window. So these are all stock standard stuff and you guys can explore these in your own time. However, I will put out a few different ones that are important and you'll probably be using for your architecture. First one here is Camera. If you come down to Camera, you got Parallel, Projection, and Perspective, and 2-point perspective. If you guys are doing floor plans or sections or anything that is obviously projected back in an isometric or a 2D view, chances are you guys will not want to use perspective and you will want to switch it over to parallel projection. So a lot of your courses for architecture where they do require floor plans and whatnot, switch it over to parallel projection just before you do a render or something like that. It'll make your life a lot easier. The other one I want to point out is Tools. So in Tools you can come down here and you should have a section plane. Now currently it's grayed out because we don't have anything modeled up. But if you guys want to produce a section of something, you've got a section plane here. Alright, so that's kind of important as well. And the last thing here is in window, you've got a default tray. So if there's anything on my UI that you're not 100% sure why you guys don't have it, chances are if you come into window, default tray, and you will have a few different things here and you can just tick them on and then they will appear in your user interface. Across the top here, guys, we've got our modeling tools. So we've got our sketching tools to begin with, our eraser, our pencil, our arc, and if you notice there's a drop down area and we got a few different arcs there, and then we've got our shapes here as well. So at the moment it's set to rectangle, you got rotate, rectangle, circle, and polygon. From there you've got a push pull tool, and that's how you take your 2D shapes that you sketch up into a 3D shape. From there, you've also got a few different other tools here, offsets, moves, rotates, and scales. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to spend too much time. Then from here, you got tape measure tool and a few different bits and pieces as well, such as your paint bucket tool. So if you guys want to apply materials, chances are it will be through the paint bucket. Then you've got some view navigation tools with your rotate or orbit here, your pan, your zoom, and your mouse, all right, or zoom extents, sorry. Now if you guys are using a mouse with a scroll wheel on it, you guys should be able to use your scroll wheel to do all those navigation. So if I click in the middle mouse button, it'll allow me to orbit around. If I hold down shift, all right, and the mouse button, I will be able to pan, and obviously using the middle mouse button will zoom in and out. So that makes your navigation very, very easy there, guys. And the next thing up here on your UI is 3D Warehouse and your extension warehouse. So one of the awesome things about SketchUp is that it enables you to have a broad category or catalog of community members that kind of give you additional things that'll make your life easier. So you can actually upload different models and you'll download different models from the 3D warehouse that'll enable you guys to kind of populate your scene with couches, trees, you know, trucks, furniture, whatever you guys so choose. And then the extension, guys, if you guys are finding that there's something in SketchUp that's lacking and you need to kind of do some more advanced modeling or something, chances are in your extension warehouse there might be a few extensions in there that are going to make your life a lot easier for architectural modeling. Your next one there is layout. So whatever you kind of model up, you can send it to layout for drafting, right? And that is SketchUp's sister program. These other bits, extension manager and you kind of account information if you guys want it, right? Nothing too important there. Down in the bottom left hand corner, you've obviously got your command prompt, and I don't really look at this too much, but it's there if you guys kind of want to look at it. And then on the bottom right hand corner, we've got measurements. So as we draw or sketch things up, you can use these measurements by typing in a measurement or keep an eye on that to see how measurements are going. On the far right hand side here, we have our default tray. So this is what I was talking about when we go into window here, default tray, and have these on. Okay, so you'll see here entity info is currently selected, materials component styles, right? So exactly the same. So if I go in through this, I've got a quick look access menu for my materials, for my different components, pretty much anything I need. One of the things I will point out very, very quickly is these styles as well. Right, so if I model something up very quickly, all right, and I change my styles here, I can go use this drop down menu to kind of select sketchy edges or something, and then I can kind of change the overall look of SketchUp depending on what kind of style that I want to look at. The other thing I kind of want to draw your attention to is the layers. So normally if you go into your layers, you can add additional layers here, just like Photoshop or any other kind of modeling program that you might be familiar with, and kind of get used to kind of setting things up on the correct levels. And in order to do that, you're going to select something, all right, and then up here in entity info, in that dialog box, you can then use this drop down menu to kind of change what you're looking at. Anyway guys, I think that's going to wrap up the UI. Let's jump into the next video, which is going to be looking at the selection and basic modeling tools.